Hello and welcome back to the channel. This video is a true anthracite horror story. History often repeats itself, and unfortunately in this video, this will be a prime example of just that. Mother Nature can be the ultimate bitch, that's for sure. Sometimes when dealing with weather, there's no rhyme or reason as to why something occurs. That paired with underground mining can make for a very deadly recipe. Sometimes when freak accidents arise,
some people are spared while others are not.
We're going to look at two different stories that occurred 77 years apart from one another. Nearly identical locations and the same event occurring, yet much different outcomes. The first story comes to us from the Associated Press, dated June 4, 1985. This occurred in Sacramento, Pennsylvania, which is in the western portion of Schuylkill County. The title of the news article states,
5 injured in dynamite explosion at mine.
An explosion that injured 5 miners deep inside a Schuylkill County coal mine apparently was caused by lightning hitting dynamite, authorities said. The dynamite went off Monday, 4,800 feet into the mine near the end of a tunnel. The 5 miners were the only men working in the area, said Michael A. Benza, manager of the International Anthracite Corporation mine in Hegins Township.
We don't know how
The lightning, the article states,
got down there, but the valley is noted for static electricity.
He said 2 caps went off after lightning had gotten into the gangway somewhere. James Schober, director of the state's Division of Anthracite Deep Mine Safety, also said he believed lightning triggered the dynamite. An investigation continued at the mine, which employs 50 workers and contains soft coal that can be broken by hand. The mine was to resume operations later today. John Pratt, 32, of Valley View, suffered the most serious injuries in the blast and was flown by a helicopter to Geisinger Medical Center in Danville, where he was admitted into critical condition. His condition was upgraded to serious by today, the nursing supervisor said. Michael McAndrew, 37, Larry Latsko, 37, and Dennis Masser, 28, all from the Ashland area, suffered smoke inhalation and were admitted to Good Samaritan Hospital in Pottsville, a hospital's nursing supervisor said. They were listed in stable condition today. Michael Tichy of the Ashland area was hit in the head by rocks, but did not require medical treatment. McAndrew said he wasn't sure exactly what happened, except that he heard 2 explosions as he and the other miners who had been digging a rock tunnel were loading material from the excavation. He said he and Masser pulled out Pratt and Latsko, using their hands to uncover the miners.
I have no idea how long we were there digging,
he said.
We got Latsko out right away. I told Tichy to get some help. I knew it was a major accident.
International Anthracite Corporation is a subsidiary of Frontier Coal Company, Denver, Colorado. And that was the end of the news article. What a weird story.
Some say that history doesn't repeat itself. Rather, it rhymes.
Let us see if that holds true with this next graphic story. That comes from the Allentown Leader, August 24, 1908. The title reads,
Lightning kills in mine. Exploded dynamite and 2 workmen were blown to pieces.
Pottsville, Pennsylvania, August 24. In an explosion caused by lightning, which set off a charge of dynamite, Philip Ellinger and George Hollenstein, 2 expert tunnel drivers, were killed and another was injured, probably fatally, in a tunnel 1,300 feet in the mountainside at Valley View in the western part of Schuylkill County. The electrical fluid was carried into the underground chamber through the agency of steel rails, or through a wire which connected the surface with the interior of the tunnel. 6 men were working in the tunnel, preparing the charge when the lightning struck. The tunnel is being driven by the Philadelphia and Reading Coal and Iron Company to connect 2 of their collieries. Ellinger and Hollenstein were preparing the charge when the lightning struck at the mouth of the tunnel, and a minute afterward, the dynamite exploded. They were blown to pieces. That was the end of the second news article. I'm going to analyze both of these stories for you now. You may notice the sound of rain pounding my SUV. I'm parked in my driveway recording this because I can't record in my house due to kids. So pardon that. The circumstances surrounding both of these mining disasters is just so creepy that it's actually unsettling. The Valley View colliery was just down the road to the east of the B&M tunnel operation of the International Anthracite Corporation. So you have both coal mine operations right near one another, but also the fact that these men were not mining coal at the time of both of these disasters. Rather, they were driving tunnels. These tunnels were being driven through solid rock for the haulage of coal. So that's so strange right there also, how these tunnel drivers were struck both in 1908 and then again in 1985. In both disasters, the lightning strikes outside, follows the pathway of the rails from the outside into the mine, finds where the workers were, detonates the caps, which in return detonates the explosives. It's nearly the same exact story, although the 1908 one was extremely ghoulish, the way they just said they were blown to pieces. Shame on them for writing that. I made another observation too, comparing the two stories. John Pratt, who was 32 and from Valley View during the 1985 disaster, was the gentleman who suffered the most serious injuries in the B&M tunnel. So those poor guys from the Valley View area didn't have much luck. What a weird series of coincidences there. Truly bizarre, to be honest. Michael McAndrew from the 1985 B&M tunnel explosion said he didn't know what really happened, except that he heard 2 explosions. The first explosion was probably the crackling of the lightning blasting through that tunnel. That's some really scary stuff. Just goes to show you how dangerous underground anthracite mining and mining in general can be. Some things you can anticipate in regards to mining, but I'm sure during both of these disasters, no one thought that lightning was going to enter the mine and set off the dynamite that they were working with prematurely. Just a small side note that the B&M operation would continue to operate until 1989 or 1990. I'm not sure what date, but that was one of the last big underground anthracite operations to exist. They pulled a lot of coal out of that mountain from the B&M operation, and I believe they were sending it to South Korea. So it's a good thing that no one died in that 1985 explosion, and I hope that those guys are still alive and doing well. And let us not forget the poor victims from the 1908 Valley View colliery explosion. They were only guilty for going to work that day and trying to provide for both themselves and their families. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next video.